The whole thing about obstacles is very interesting because, as many of you have heard me say, I'm writing a book now about the Tao Te Ching that was written 2,500 years ago, the foundation of Taoism, 81 verses or chapters that Lao Tzu put together, and I'm writing 81 essays about how to apply each one of those in our lives. And one of those, in verse 58, says that bad fortune is what good fortune leans on, and good fortune is what bad fortune hides in. I'd like you to just think about that for a moment. What wisdom was Lao Tzu offering to us 2,500 years ago when he said that good fortune is what bad fortune hides in, and the other way around, bad fortune is what good fortune leans on. So that basically what he is saying is that everything in the world of the 10,000 things, everything in the world of the physical world that we're all in, nothing is ever the same. It's never straight. It's never always just one way, no matter what it is. The universe doesn't know how to be straight. It's a crooked universe. If you look at a mountain range, you'll see that the mountain range, it's never just one great big flat thing on the horizon. It goes up and then it goes down. It goes from hills, it goes down into valleys, then it goes back up into hills and then down into valleys. This is the natural landscape of everything in our world. Our sound, the sound waves that you're having come into your ears right now that are coming from my voice moving my tongue and my teeth and my lips and my jaw and air aspirating, going out through the airwaves, those little sound waves, if you can look at an oscilloscope and see what they look like, they have hills in them and then they have valleys in them. They go up and then they go down. There's a natural cycle to everything in this universe. We have the seasons, we have the sun and the earth, all in a constant state of movement. And as Einstein once said, nothing happens until something moves. So as long as you're in the world of the form, in the world of the physical, the material world, you're always moving. There is so if you're always moving, think about that for a moment, and you're in a place that you call bad fortune or a place that you call obstacles, and you're continuing to move, which you have to. You have to move. Nothing stands still in this universe. Nothing is flat or straight. It's all crooked. The only thing that you can do if you're moving and you're in a valley and you're in a low point or what you call an obstacle, the only thing that you can do is move out of it, move into a direction where you're heading towards the mountaintop. And this is what he means when he says that good fortune is what bad fortune hides in, and the other way around. At any moment that you are in the face of an obstacle of any kind, no matter what it is, no matter how difficult, no matter how struggling it seems to be, how much struggling you seem to be doing in your life, understand that if you keep moving from the place that you are, and you have to move, you can't stay still, otherwise you're dead. You have to understand that in the midst of that obstacle, in the midst of that difficulty, you have the option always to know that good fortune is hiding in there and waiting for you. And once you have that, one of the things it says in the Tao is that you can get any place in the world, any place that you want to be, as long as you start from here. From here means that you don't take on big problems. The Tao says that sages or great masters or the people, the enlightened beings, never take on a big problem because they look at whatever they're facing in this particular moment and they deal with that. And that means it says that small things can be scattered. It can be scattered very easily. It also says that good fortune is what bad fortune is hiding in. So that when you are at the top, when you're at the mountaintop, and if you're continuing to move and you're at the peak, there's no place else for you to go except back down into one of those valleys again. So that when you can get outside of yourself and get the perspective of looking at both good fortune and bad fortune as both just kind of temporary places along this path that we have chosen when we incarnated into this physical world. And that as good as things are going, and at the very peak, at the very top, which is where I was 60 years ago, I thought I was in the happiest, most divine, most beautiful place that it was possible for me to be in my relationship and with my wife and so on. And, in fact, something was waiting there for me. And that thing that is called a valley, or that thing that is called misfortune, that is going to be there, and then you're going to go back up, and then you're going to go back down. All of it is divine. And when you look for when you're in the midst of misfortune, you're in the midst of an obstacle, you're in the midst of a deep struggle, no matter what it might be, if you can look for inside of it and say, you know what, this too will pass, And inside of this misfortune, there's nothing but fortune waiting, because that's the nature of the cyclical nature of this whole universe. That which is up will go down. In fact, just think about this whole concept. If we didn't have a concept called bad fortune, then we wouldn't have one called good fortune. In order to be able to experience and know what we mean by something that is difficult, we must have something that is easy as well to contrast it to. That's the nature of the paradoxical dichotomies that we all live in this physical world. So be at peace with wherever you are, and understand each obstacle or each bad fortune that is coming that has something hidden deep within it that is going to provide for you something grander and greater than you ever anticipated.